Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another live broadcast, build broadcast, I guess. Going to get into making the drive shafts and see what else we can figure and finish for this build. We've been going slowly through it just because of time and trying to get everything scheduled, but yeah, we're pushing on and pressing on. And I've got the struggle right now. I've got an earpiece in so that I can do a table camera for you guys, but that means that the audio through the phone and the camera can't be muted, so I have to do something to make it not echo. And this is my solution right now. Not ideal to hear myself about 2 seconds later. What's up, Justin Wayne and Justin O'Neill, a JMRC Sherry Kibler? Hey, what's going on? Honey Lulu is in the house. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing the build series on this one, but I got my camera set up here, so we've been recording them as we're doing them, and I'm posting that later in edited form, which is much easier to watch if you're actually trying to build it. This is more of a hangout. Some people like to see all of the struggles of it, and so that's what they get with this. And all the technical stuff. It's more of a behind the scenes, I guess. Get my camera all set up here. Trying to find out why I don't have video. Mars and Tone RC just bought his first crawler. That's what I'm talking about. What are the rest of you guys doing up late right now? If you're on the East Coast. I know some of you guys are East Coasters. All right. Get everything organized so I can do my startup video. Also, got these in from RC Amigos, these awesome RC car stands. So he made me some with his logo because I really wanted the bomb logo on it. But he also wanted to make me one with my logo on it. So I bought several of these, and he also sent me these really cool, like zombie that you put out on the trail. It just sticks in the ground. And Bigfoot. Where's the light? There's some light. You can see them. They just post up on the trail. Aren't these awesome? Cut out of metal. Super cool. So that and the stands. I've actually got the laptop set up on stands too to get everything elevated for me to see a little bit easier here, which is awesome. Landon's in the house. Josh Rhodes, man. Yeah, Josh, you should talk to him. RC_Amigos. What's cool about these is you can set your car on it, like on the top to work on it, but you can flip it to the side like this and put your axles in it just to get them off the ground if you want to work on axles and stuff. Pretty neat little design he's got here. And it was for a good cause too, supporting 11 Charlie and his veteran builds that he's doing. So we're going to get into this, guys, and we'll keep chatting along the way. I saw somebody that's saying 757. Yeah, Landon, the RC nerd. You're in the 757 as well? Levi says he just ordered the build kit for a digger. That's awesome, man. I'm really looking at another build kit. I'm not going to do another video on the kits that I have coming up right now. I have the SCX-10 coming, but there's enough videos of that already. And also I have the Black Edition Clod Bluster. It's just too good a deal to pass up on. So they've got the pricing down on those like crazy. Anyway, so that's what I've got coming. Those are just more for my fun and to have to run. This, I just have to wait. Like, I could have been done with this because what's coming up is pretty easy. But waiting until I had nights to record and do that process really pushed me back. Landon's in Deep Creek, man. You're not far from me at all. Shut Your Mouth 82 says, this is cool. Wife just gave him a builder's kit today for his birthday. Just got her an SMT10 RTR a few days ago. That's awesome. I know Justin Wayne Kopp is in the 757 as well. So yeah, Wayne Kidler's in here. These stands, super cool. I don't have an RC car right near me to put up on here, or I'd show you. Everything's on that side. But for recording these videos, I need the light. That's, people were asking and thought I was in a different spot, but it's actually the studio. But these are the lights that I use to light up the table. And so in order to show the cars, I need the light coming this way with the camera here. So yeah. What's going on, Chuck Hall? Yeah, it's late. Just getting into this, guys. Haven't had a lot of time. I did, however, build a huge bash ramp today. And yeah, we were doing, I was doing a lot of home projects and finishing up the laundry room where we did like shiplap, but you'd kind of do your own using plywood, 1/4 inch, or there's another measurement in, I don't remember what it was. It wasn't 5/16, but anyway, it's a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch. And I think we ended up, we ended up doing that. And that's what I used for the leftover boards. I had 2 leftover boards. I bought extra so I could build a ramp. But yeah. And if I needed it, if I made any mistakes, I would have some. And I wasn't wanting to go up to Home Depot multiple times during all of this. So I just ordered it up online when it picked it up. So Josh, man, yeah, these lights are awesome. And these stands also, I got mounts from the ceiling from Amazon. These lights are from Amazon. I think it's 2 of these lights with the bulbs and everything, and the stands for $100. And they're softbox lights. They're pretty cool. And the stands weren't that bad out of the ceiling. I think it was like $15. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna do my intro here, and then we'll get going. So here's the behind the scenes parts you guys get. Hit record. We're rolling. Mic check. It's working. All right. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to CCXRC. Today on the bench, we have got bag F of the SMT10 Builders Kit, the raw Builders Kit. And we're going to go ahead and be doing this. It's going to be the drive shafts, but then it looks like if we complete this in time, we'll get on to putting in our electronics tray and battery tray build and some other stuff in the manual, getting ready to assemble the cage, putting in the header, stuff like that. So should be easy. This is going to be the fun part. You're starting to see the end of the build coming along, so that's exciting stuff. So we'll get through these drive shafts and yeah, moving on. Josh Rhodes says he's John McClellan, $15, little man. I don't know what that is replying to. Yeah, the boards that I ended up getting were like $15. The 4x8 sheets of plywood. So that ramp cost like $30 to build. A bunch of leftover 2x4s that I had just laying around the yard. Yeah, super, super cool. All right, guys, so here's what we're looking at right here. We're going to be assembling the ends here of the drive shafts. We're going to be doing this twice and building these out. These are the wild boar drive shafts. So it's a pretty simple setup. We're going to be assembling all this stuff here and then attaching it with this screw at the end. So let's get to it. Oh, yeah, Clerks. All right, bag F. Spill all that out. what tires am I going to use with this G Wong? All right, so I've got the Tribute rims from J Concepts. I'm going to be using the Goldyear tires. So I just really like the look of these, the tread pattern. It just kind of feels scale to me. Kind of got a nice rounded edge to it. That's my plan. If I don't like those, I've got the whatever the one is with the really heavy tread. Firestorms? Is that what those are? I can't remember the different names that they use for them. My bad. I should be able to remember, but I can't. I'm gonna make a stack of all these in place here. Three. Nice. Most of the stuff's lifting up pretty easy too, which is good. Frustratingly though, these part tree numbers have two numbers on them, 8510004 and then 31586. So what's frustrating about that is on here, what we're looking at is part tree 31114, and then there's numbers based on what part of the tree it is. And so this is saying part 3 would be the drive shaft. Well, the center part of it. Well, on this, it's number 1. So that's kind of frustrating. I know how these look and go, so it's not a big deal. But for some people, it could be a big deal. All right, so I'm going to tell them that as well to the camera. See that Cruiser just picked a set of those tires up on your recommendation. Oh, hey, Sean, how's it going? I just really like the look of them. Hey, Lucre's in the house for his hobbies, Trax RC. George Rain, a quick question about the Armored Granite. What's the difference between the 35C 5000 and a 5200 35C for the Granite? The 5200 and the 5000 is the difference in those numbers. Basically, that's like the capacity, I guess, of the batteries. So you'll get longer runtime. That's going to be the main thing. You'll get a little bit longer. So yeah. All right, quick note that we're going to point out to all of you guys as you're building this. The numbers on these do not correspond with the book. So this says AX31586. The book says that they are part AX31114. As you can see, these are the pieces that they're talking about. The second problem is that the black number here, or black box numbers, that would correspond to the number on the tree. But you can see the number 1 here is for the center part of the drive shaft, but here it's the number 3. And so all of the numbers on this are wrong. So this whole page. But this is the part tree you're looking for. And I'll try to make as best a call out on these as I can. It is frustrating that it's that way. But that's what we got to deal with. All right, so here I've got all my parts laid out for assembling these so that I can quickly grab each of the pieces. It's really not that bad to put these together, so we're just going to get to it. It visually will make sense to you. The biggest problem is that the length of these are different, and with the numbering being off, you just have to look at it. And so we're going to build this longer shaft with like the crown end here, is going to be on the longer shaft, and then the shorter one will be on the bottom. But again, it's problematic because they give us 3 sizes and it doesn't correspond to the tree. So if I still had an RTR, I'd look at that, but I don't. So we're going to go with the longer and the middle length one. Well, so which one Jorge is asking which one I recommend. I'd recommend getting the longer one. 5200. What you have to look at those, you have to look at the dimensions of the battery and make sure it's going to fit the battery tray. That's your main thing you got to do. Because sometimes those 5200s are a longer case. So just be aware of that. Let's see if I remember to put these in phase, guys. Sometimes I'm sloppy and I don't do that. And I swear that with these, you had one of the shorter ends for the front or the rear. It's a different length run. But they're just saying to do the same step 2 times. They're not saying to change out the parts. So that's the bummer of the directions. But these parts are used across many different platforms, and that's why this may be an updated piece set. Troy Hobbies, I'm having a rear diff problem on my SMT10. I have HD overdrive gears, front and rear. Do I need to shim for proper contact? I don't know. I haven't done them. The only time I did them, I had issues. So I went overdrive on both, and I had a whole bunch of binding issues and cogging, and so I just stopped using them. Went back to what I knew worked, which was the standard. Just going to go ahead and do the same thing here and remove all these pieces. Don't need this. All right. Trying to get myself all organized here, situated. David says, yes, you need a shim. He says, yes, I'll go back to stockish. What's going on, Bucks RC World? I'm using blue Loctite Jason M. I pretty much use that on everything. Every once in a while, I'll use red on my primal raminator, but it's using much bigger 4mm and stuff that you can really get some grab on, and so you can heat it up easy and really get some bite with the wrench. I don't use red on any of these smallers really. So Troy's saying it is the same problem with his. All right, so first things that we have to do here is get our udder butter ready. All right, so I'm going to grab one of these, get one of our middle pieces here. I gotta remember how all this works. Yeah, all right. So what I do is I always use the udder butter to hold pieces in place. So this as well as this will kind of help keep it where I want it inside of this end here. That way it won't keep spinning freely. Make it easier for me to line it up with this. Take one of these pins, slide it right through this hole. Oops. I honestly, guys, haven't assembled one of these before. They're always assembled for me. So I'm going to put the crown on the top there, and that's going to hold that pin in when we put our grub screw through here to attach it to the transmission. Next piece is we've got to go ahead and screw in this. It's going to basically push into the bottom, and this is the longer one. It's going to push into the bottom of the shaft there. And then we're going to use some blue thread lock, which you guys were asking about a second ago. Usually I have some plastic, like the old bag that I put my thread lock onto. Did I lose this angle? You guys lost that camera angle? It is seeming to be choppy. Is this angle better here, or is it as choppy as the phone? The phone's really choppy. Let me cut this for a second. Go over here to the comments. Decision 3813s. The phone is going crazy. So I don't know what's going on with my phone camera. It's really lagging pretty bad. Let me see if I can make that a little better. It's an old phone, so it's going to disappear for a second here. This phone's freaking out. Well, I could just do it old-fashioned like this. That'll work. Then get rid of this earpiece. There we go. Does that work better? Just ditch the table cam for now. How's it going? Slow flow, RC life. All right, get back into here. Oh, table cam just decided to come back in on its own. Don't know why. I've got to get it to switch angles. This is really good. Great content right here. Kind of working. All right. RC reactivator, what's going on? right. So anyway, where I was at before we started having all the camera glitches and all that stuff was working on the. I'm just gonna ditch that camera. We're ditching it. We're going old school. Kick the other one out. We're rolling here. All right, so what we're going to be doing is doing some thread lock, and we're going to need our number 2mm wrench. I'm guessing. Yes, I guessed right. 2mm wrench, and we're going to be taking some blue thread lock, putting it on here, and then we're going to put that down into the inside of the drive shaft. I like this gel Permatex thread lock. It seems to do really well. Some of the watery stuff, I don't feel like it always is. I don't know. I guess you got to shake it up or whatever. I don't feel like it always gets good bite. All right, so that's it. That's one half of this drive shaft. You'll insert this guy, and then you'll build the other half, which we'll do now, which is going to be our shorter one. Let me grab another one of these. We're going to be doing this whole process 2 times, and so it's pretty straightforward. Grab another one of the little black jobbies here. These things probably all have names, but I don't know them, which is obvious right now. Take and put it onto here, lining up the holes for this pin, which we'll use a little grease to pick it up. Slide it through like that. And we're going to put this guy on like so, which you'll see will also have a hole here that at some point will line up when we're putting it to the axle or the transmission side, whichever side it happens to be. But now what we have to do is same thing. We're going to be screwing this in, same blue thread locker on it, and then we're done with this part. We'll do the other 2, but we won't do that on camera. It's the same process, and we'll get moving on after that. Ooh, lots of thread lock came out on that one. We'll use it for the others. Earl, how's it going, man? So what are you guys doing? I had a crazy day. Our neighborhood has been really active with the social distancing stuff, but trying to do things for the kiddos. And so we've had some crazy ideas from one of our people here in the neighborhood. And so we all did sidewalk chalk and made little things for them to come and do, jumping, and it had little, like, you know, say your ABCs while you do whatever the thing was. So just kind of fun stuff for the kids. And how about you guys? You guys have anything going on? On top of that, I did a bunch of honeydew things on the list, which is ever growing. You guys know how that is. Not in a bad way. It's just growing. One thing I wasn't doing was putting any grease on these balls, which I should have been doing. Our Sivuda's just waiting on parts. Waiting. I hear that. I was on a live stream. It came in after the other night, and on Steve O'D's and told the guys about the Kyosho stackables that I got. Those things are something else, man. The amount of money that they cost for basically recycled cardboard, like what McDonald's uses for their drink carriers. They're 18 inches square, and there's 5 of them in the box, but it's $75 for that. Can you believe that? Crazy to me. Jason M says his neighbor is sitting in his driveway almost every day drinking beer and flying his drone. Probably two things that you don't want to mix. Flying a drone and drinking beer could be a little bit of a dangerous combo. Choice Hobbies, can we have the BMX RC discussion? If not here, should I do some video about it? It seems like a can of worms. Yeah, man, start talking about it. We'll talk about it. So what he's referencing is I had somebody, and I've been waiting for it. I've had some of the guys in person give me a hard time about doing RCs at the BMX trails, mountain bike trails that we have here. And so I usually just try to go when they're not there. I mean, that's usually what I do, is just the whole avoidance kind of way of doing it is get up early when they're still sleeping in. And saves you a lot of hassle that way. Or I would just go and run places around that they weren't, and they didn't usually seem to have too much problem with that. Some of the guys you could judge if they were going to be cool or not, because they'd come watch you, and they'd ask you to come over and do some other jumps. And so you have varying thoughts on whether or not the RCs are wanted or not in the BMX trails. So that's what the question is about. Now I'm phasing these, which means that you want your screw, it's over here now, where your drive shafts are going to go through, you want them to be in the same spot on the when they go together. So yeah. Tony got robbed. How'd I get robbed? So yeah, so Troy, what are your thoughts on it? Slow smashing. I don't have any to blast, but I've got on the back of my computer and in my refrigerator, I got a big poking at you punk head. Not really a fan of the new design of him, the 3D new version, but whatever. I understand them wanting to update things. Here's where the ESCs are going to come in. I might have to do that later, because I don't have mine soldered up yet. My neighborhoods have been packed. Sheriff been out twice, taking people out of the pool area. Wow. Well, you're out in California, right? So it's pretty strict about stuff there. It's not too strict here. Not yet. Oh, yeah. Sean's RC got robbed on the cardboard. Yeah. Earl Moorhead, BMX kids don't like me on the dirt jumps, saying my RC ruins the jumps. So I've never been back. Yeah. They can ruin the jumps for sure. But it all depends on how you're riding too. So I don't notice that much of any change when I hit the jumps at all. They're so hard packed, the clay. The only time you really ruin it is if you're just doing burnouts on it or hitting them when they're muddy. So, I mean, big, heavy people on bikes are going over those with thin tire treads. Yeah, I don't really see that argument a whole lot. But, you know, if people are taking off the tarps and stuff that they put over the jumps, they're not putting them back, or they are doing things that are destructive to the jumps, I get why they'd be upset. But anybody could do that. It doesn't have to be an RC. But I really don't find that they're that destructive. Choice hobby, the way I see it as a person who is both BMX and RC, dirt jumps are treated a lot like private surf spots. Some people get territorial, so you have to show the spot certain respect. Yeah, exactly. And so I think, you know, most of the people that I know of do. The problem is a lot of times the RC guys, all the ones that I know and hang out with and whatever, you know, they're older dudes. They're pretty respectful of the park and stuff in general, their family, going out as families. So, you know, it's funny that we're the ones getting ragged on because, you know, the disrespect actually comes from a lot of the, I mean, so much of that, the whole culture comes out of a rebellious kind of like attitude towards things. And that's why the cities have made places for them to do it, because they don't want them destroying public property in other places. I'm saying this as somebody who was a BMX dude growing up. I got my bike still down in the garage. Reynolds Racing, Barry McManus, double XL, DK, gooseneck, inverted with original red line, flight cranks on it, 180. So yeah, Suzu hubs and I don't remember what my rims are. Array of rims, I think. Old school stuff. So raced BMX for 10 years. Broke my collarbone doing it. Racing nationals. So did dirt jumping, all that stuff. And total respect for them. And, you know, even the BMX guys go out there. The guys that don't build the jumps a lot of times are the ones, they'll go out there and they'll take the ramps off or the covers off and leave them off. And I'll watch them do it because I'll go to a different part, like the unused part, which is what's funny because that's where a lot of the contention is now, is an area that was unused for years. And that's where I would go to stay out of the way. It's all run down. But I would have to go and put the tarps on when they left because I knew it was going to ruin the jumps if they didn't. And I knew that somebody's hard work was going to be destroyed. Hours of hard work for the 5 minutes, 3 minutes it takes to put all the tarps back on. So yeah, I get it. How's it going, RC Workbench? So yeah, I do get the I get the territorial thing to a degree. Somebody said that there's been somebody out there with motorcycles and stuff, which aren't supposed to be back there, but that's a whole different thing. But I'm never usually hitting stuff full on. How's it going, Adam? I got to be there early tomorrow to set up this live stream setup right here. Earl Moorhead, this is cool. I've been riding BMX whole life. Still do with your kids. That's awesome. The Venice skate park won't have bikes in there at all, so I kind of get it. Yeah, and so I guess my thought is that secondary spot that I'm talking about, I would actually like to go to the city and just ask them to designate a spot for it then. I think it's a family at this point. It's a pretty big hobby. I think it's grown quite a bit recently, and with the phase out of so many of the shops and places for people to run, you know, they're always saying, come out to the parks with your family, come out and do things. But then you go there and they won't let you run the cars to the park because they tear up the lawn or whatever. It's just like, well, you know, you guys have these big open spaces that nobody uses ever, except when you do like a huge jamboree thing. You know, open it up, let people use it, and you know, let the hobbyists do it. Give us a spot to build some jumps, just like the BMX or they have a skate park. They have a couple skate parks that are built for the skaters, and they do allow BMX there, and they allow scooters there. I think if it gets too crazy, they try and limit it because, I mean, the bikes move faster and, you know, gets a little more dangerous for the other people. But yeah, I'd like to see something for RC, you know, somewhere. But the problem is they're already strapped for cash, and so it'd have to be somewhere we're just saying, we just want a spot, let us have it. We'll do the work. So the same problem happens at RC tracks with bikes and dirt bikes. Yeah, that's true. They see jumps and they want to hit them. RC Workbench said they found an abandoned golf course. That's a pretty sweet spot. Jason M., what transmitters do you use? Not sure if I should upgrade from RTR radios. I use the Spectrum DX5 Rugged. I also have the DX4R Pro, which is like the 5 Pro that's out now. But I didn't see a need to upgrade to that. I like the Rugged for the one-handed driving with the thumb control. So yeah, that was why I have that one as well. But I run Spectrum. I like it. It's done well for me. But yeah, so where's I just saw RC Basher Boy. Yeah, Troy's Hobby says, yeah, the same problem happens at RC tracks, but with bikes and dirt bikes. So, you know, it's a two-way street, and it really comes down to people. And I don't know if I ever got to the story, but we were building scale courses in there, flags, bridges, whole bunch of stuff set up to do scale courses in the woods there. They have like little thin trails through there. But some of the dudes that, you know, it's in the BMX park area of the park, and they just came through and destroyed it all for no reason. It's all just broken, left there, but just destroyed. So I don't see that kind of stuff happening to the BMX stuff, and I don't see that much damage being done. Most of the changes are done by, and that's the one question too. It's like it's city owned, but literally anybody could go in there with a shovel and change a jump, and so it would piss off whoever originally made that jump, right? But how do you stop that from happening? Because it's a public space. So even if I was doing it as a BMXer, I could really upset whoever the BMX person was that had put some time into doing one thing because I didn't like it and I couldn't clear it. So I'm going to change it and change the way that the whole layout is. And because the whole layout is completely different if you go in there now from what it was 2 months ago. And who made that call, and did that tick somebody off? You know? You just get people that have attitudes, and that's it. You're always going to get the guy that wants to come at somebody. And so there's a couple RC guys that just stood up to it. So they said he's been hitting everybody. Siri thinks I'm talking to her about something. I don't get it why. But yeah, I just go when nobody's there. Makes it easy. Even when we're crawling, you can catch flack from them when we're not even on the jumps. RC Bashboy Spectrum is very commercial. Every other hobby shop has parts. Yeah, that's one of the nice things. I can go anywhere pretty much and get a receiver. But the other thing is, I've got big enough jumps here without trees around them. That BMX park has so many trees. The jumps are super narrow because they're for bike wheels, which only need a small approach to hit. And so it's really easy to break stuff there. So now that I can send it, and I just built that other send it ramp, I don't have that same need. So a little bit more predictable at my place. Adam Smith, yeah, WRC World did close. They just opened one. We just got Coastal RC Speedway in Chesapeake. That's an indoor carpet track, and they've got both they've got Mini Z, they've got carpet off-road, and they've got carpet on-road, and then they've got a whole crawler thing with a whole bunch of rocks and stuff set up. So it's pretty cool. So we do have a little bit. So I'm supposed to be getting some dirt here, guys. So my whole backyard thing, my needs have changed anyway, right? So I plan to do a 5th scale Monster Jam track. That's my plan. So I plan to get dirt in, plan to make stuff that would be more scale jumps like what you'd see in a Monster Jam arena for the Primal RC. Now I'll still be able to hit it with the 10th scale, and there'll probably be pretty awesome launches for the 10th scale vehicles, but it's going to be set up as little pods and different things so I can kind of run around and hit different things and have a blast. And I might actually ask and see if one of the Andersons will come up and give me a little guidance as I'm laying it out scale-wise, what some of it looks like, if they'd be willing to do that. So they've been real friendly and chatty with me. So maybe it's a possibility. It depends how busy they get. They're big into RC. They might get a kick out of it. So let them run the Raminator. So that's just an idea I've been kicking around, but even the backflip ramp I plan to do, make a box out of wood and then fill it with some dirt because they have the dirt in the top so it doesn't move. I'll probably put like a platform in there so I don't have to fill the whole thing with dirt, maybe halfway, but it'll give it some of that weight so when the truck does hit it, it won't want to flex and move too much. So yeah, so I need to, that was my birthday present 2 years ago, not this past Christmas, but the one before. But we had all this weird septic stuff and we were waiting to find out what we were going to have to still do. Now that kind of I'm in the clear on that, I'm going to do it, but I also have to get a tractor, like a front end loader, because the way our yard's set up now with the septic, they can't actually drive a truck through there to dump it. So you're going to have to dump it in our driveway, which means you have to then wrap it around my in-laws' house, back in through a gate, and then back over to the back corner. So it's kind of a long route to move all that dirt we're going to be pushing. So I'm going to be renting probably one of the Kubota tractors from Home Depot, but I don't have a truck, so I got to find somebody with a truck that'll go there one morning, help me tow it to my house, and then rent it for a day or two. And then that same friend will have to come hook up and tow it back for me. So I'm going to be asking a lot of somebody. But yeah. Slow Flow Life, RC Life says, I'll bring some of my RC construction equipment to help. There you go. So actually what I was looking at was more, yeah, so I was looking at, I wasn't looking at a Kubota tractor. I was looking at like a little Bobcat with the tank treads so it can move, even if it's not tank, but the quick turn, because I'll be able to come up the driveway, hit the thing, spin around, head back, not have to like come around. Anyway, yeah. So if I could get something that has like that, that type of a drive setup with the, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Anyway, that lets you know where that is and where it's going there. So it'll be just mounds of stuff. People say, build a track, but tracks aren't fun. Like after you've run it enough times, like, all right, cool. Now I just want to move all the stuff and the pylons out of the way so I can just rip whatever way I want and hit the jumps anyway. And that's where those pods are really cool, because a Monster Jam pod has 8 different approaches to hit it at different angles or whatever. So that's what I'm hoping to do. That and maybe just a couple of their actual launch jumps. But yeah. That's in the drawing phase. I just need to find out some of the scale sizes for it to be able to jump appropriately, because I think that thing actually runs pretty scale looking, and so that's where I think the fun of that truck will really shine and really show people, hey, if you do these things like realistically, it could be awesome. Choice hobbies, fish pond leap. Not a lot of room for for the fish pond. That'd be an easy jump though. There's that cement there. I could clear that fence and stuff easy with the ramp. But the problem is if I miss, there's a whole bank of windows. If I get a little off angle, that could be tragic. Booster FPV set up like Monster Jam. That's what I want. RC Workbench. Our World Finals has a fountain. You can incorporate a koi pond. No, but I'm actually looking at a second spot for another koi pond because mine sits. How can I do this? So mine sits. Everything's blowing out from the lights. Like there's a pool set up here, and then a house, and then another little walkway thing. So it's an L shape that goes around this. But then there's this whole long stretch that I didn't use before that I'm planning to actually build another one that'll then have a metal scoop that hangs out, and the water will transfer out of the new one, the big one. So it'll be above ground part of it. And as it overflows, it'll overflow into the other one, which will have a return that'll take it back to the original. That's the plan. I may nix that and just have them independent, but I think it'd be cool to incorporate them together. That's another plan. Always kicking around ideas. Brain's always spinning. So yeah, Monster Jam. I need to get back into this really quick. Start this next part so I can keep talking, but I need to take a quick pause to get to the next part of this build so I can keep moving forward. Bag plastic 3. That's what we're moving to next. Right, cord. All right, so here is one of the finished drive shafts, and what I've done is I've actually put them into phase so that when they attach to the axle and the transmission, you want the screws to be going through in the same spot. So you don't want to have one screw going through down and this one going through across. You want them both to be going the exact same angle that they're going through. So you can see the hole here and the hole here are this in line going straight down. So that's in phase. All right, so now we're moving on. Those are done to our electronics part here, which is for our receiver box, which is a little bright. So we're going to move it on here to this part. We're going to be assembling the receiver box, mounting it to this plate. And these are going to be in plastic bag 3, and we're going to be using bag G as well to complete this section. And as well as completing the battery tray and installing the headers. So these 3 things are kind of what are coming up. So let's get to it. Boost FPV, I am going with, I have a Son of a Digger fire and a Megalodon fire. So I didn't mention this earlier. These J Concepts inserts that are going to go on the rims on the outside. So it'll be gray on the inside, and then it'll have the red ring around it, and then the black tire, and it'll be like a fire. And I can put either one on. That's the plan. That is the plan. All right. So here are these pieces, but we had one of the pieces in plastic bag number 2 as well. I think. Where have I seen that? Floating around the top of that tray. Yeah. So this is floating around in my bag 2 still, and that's going to go on here for the battery tray. Just clean it up, and then we'll get it going. All right, Basher Boy says, sweet. I can actually show you guys those, kind of. Everything on here is just kind of, there they are. The live for this is really just behind the scenes. It's not trying to be professionally done in any way. So there's the fire bodies, just sitting on some trucks I have over there. And we're back. All right, so what I got to do next, are these pieces. My poor cow RC mat's getting so many hits to it from the knife. Only I have a cutting board I could put on top, but I see this, as much as I do, I just see it as replaceable. They're awesome mats, worth replacing when and if I do too much damage to it. Can you use an old-fashioned wheelbarrow? I could. That'd be a lot of dirt to move. Since you cleared the fence, it's time to jump the swing set or slide in your backyard. One of my goals is to jump the whole fort in the backyard. Whole fort. And there's a bar that's pretty high up at the top of it. So be on the lookout for something like that. One of the other ideas I had was to actually put a jump on the fort. So I'd go up the little bridge and then launch from there up and over. Just see how far it would go. These are great ideas, though. Fish pond leaps. I like it. I like it. So we need that. Other part we're going to need here. Right. Try and get several of these pieces ready. Don't know what this is going to be for, but that's later. So bag G. All right, so here is bag G, and it's going to have a little ring here. Not ring, but the little rubber seal. 3M tape and a bunch of screws. Get building. Get this thing further along. The forever long build. All right, so what is the first step? It's going to be to mount our receiver, which we don't have yet. So we're just going to build the box. This is easy enough to come back and add later. I don't have my receiver yet that I know of. So we're just going to go ahead and build this. And it's just going to basically attach right onto here. Should be good. That's upside down. It's going to go like that. All right, so let's start with that. We're going to need we can just go ahead and close up our box while we're here. So you're going to have this little rubber piece. This rubber piece is going to just slide in here. And what you use this for is when you do put in your receiver and all your different electronics and the wires feed in, you just kind of put them in here and it'll kind of waterproof seal it when it's jammed in here. Just keep it from getting too much moisture in there. Gonna have this little seal ring. It's gonna sit right on the top here, followed by this cap. Put in this one first, maybe. There we go. Bootstrap PV, do you think Digger is going to happen this year? I don't, unfortunately. I don't foresee it happening. Right. Take one of these small screws. You can see the shape of it. And looks like a 2mm as well. I'm just going to put these in place. I'm not going to tighten mine all the way down because I'm going to have to take them out when I do go to build it. I just want to have them there when I need them. So I'm just going to lightly thread them in for now. That's a 1.5. That's more believable. That's more like what it should be. So has anybody been able to get out and hit any trails? We haven't really done anything but stay home. There you go. Detroit Hobby or Decline Brew. Strap a bow target to your RC car. Have them do target practice while you're driving it. That's a fun idea. I like it. So yeah, all these are the 1.4 inch or 1.5, not inch, millimeter size hex heads on them for all these screws that are going into this part. So that's how you know if you got the right part or not. Rainy in Baltimore, says Booster FPV. You know, I always forget that it's you. Because Booster, I forget that you do drones and monster trucks. Which is really cool. I'm missing. No, not here. It is. Got them all. It's James. All right. So the other thing that we have to do is we have to put the ESC here, which I don't have the ends on it, and I can always stick that in later. But if you have yours ready to go with your battery leads, go ahead and do that part. I'm going to skip that for now, and I'm going to move on to the next part, which is going to be assembling this tray. Which is going to require these two little pieces here as well. And the little door that's going to go on here. Kind of sit on here, and that's where it's going to receive the door, and this is where the door is going to be mounted, like so. They do make some really cool aftermarket stuff that you can do here that are shaped like a fuel cell. That's really cool. That mounts into this section, but we're not going to do that for this one, not yet at least. I have one on my sticker bomb. It does make it hard for me to get the leads out and plugged in and all that with this whole area being enclosed. So let's do this. So this is 436. So this is going to be the part number AXA 436, and that's going to go in here to hold this in place. And these are going to be 2 millimeters. Hold that there. Do another one. So the medium of the 3 sizes of screws pretty much that are used. Yep, and we're for Parma. Got a little crawling in. All right, RC Workbench says he did it the last 2 weekends because they're allowed to up there. Right on. So 438 is going to be the long one, the long screw, and that is going to go right here. Put this in place. Boom. Then you can take your little pin and it'll go right there, and that'll hold your battery in place, which is nice. I'm going to size this up for one of my batteries. I'm going to see what I have up here. I know these are kind of frowned upon in racing. They like you to have hard packs, but they don't really fit in these SMT10s very well. I run a lot of these 3S soft packs. So just make sure it fits. This is the size I normally do. It's pretty much the bottom hole. Or maybe the middle hole. I don't want to slide in too much. So this is yeah, so the bottom hole is what I'm using. Throw more head. Amazon is really delayed, I agree. Right now they seem to be very delayed. So AXA 434, kind of these medium size, small. These are what we're going to be using for the battery tray here. I just have a battery in to kind of help me line it up where I need it to be at. That's probably where it normally is at. I'm going to go up one so I can do hard packs in here. Easy enough to switch later. So I keep telling myself. Hey, Riff Raff. eBay's been way better. I agree. eBay's speeds have been way faster for me. Yeah, I was trying to order something. So when I was building my ramp, you guys will see that it's not perfectly rounded because my jigsaw skills aren't that great. And then I traced the not so great one onto the other one, and then I was trying to use my sander to get that rounded part that I had that was a little bit of flat spots, and it was working. And then all of a sudden it's a DeWalt 5-inch circular style, and it literally ripped off the foam piece that holds the pad on it. So I tried to order another one. It was like going to be here May 3rd, and I was like, and I'll try to get that locally. But hobby stuff, I've been trying to get it all at my local hobby town. All right, so that looks good. Just want this to be able to slide in like so. A lot of times you can glue or double-sided tape a little piece of foam there to keep it from sliding around. Jesse Co, what gear ratio do you run in your SMT10? Typically, I run the standard, the stock spur gear, which is 56 tooth with a 16 or 17 tooth pinion. But what I'm doing in this is going to be 52 tooth spur gear, and I'm trying a 14 mil to start with, but I can always increase that as well if I want to do more. That's where I'm starting. That's my starting point right now. So that looks like that is all done. Next thing we're going to be doing is getting out the cool part of the truck that everybody loves, the black chassis. Yes, I love it. Felt like Wayne right there saying that. I love it. All right, cut these out. A few little pieces in here that are not needed. Not part of the chassis. Right here, just cutting that out. And do that on both of them. Cutting this piece out right here. How long have I been on, Riff Raff? I've been on for an hour and 12. Haven't done a lot for how long I've been on. It's the problem with live and building is you stop and chat, talk about other things, BMX trail woes and that kind of stuff. But it's all good. That's what makes live fun, right? And you stop and you work for a little bit, and then you get back to chatting for a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I got a little bit along so that I can make a video of this, which I just want to get through this bag of parts. Pretty much is it, right? So these steps are done. Because what they're going to be doing next are the headers. Which I found in here. So all this stuff's getting kind of done and in the way. I'm going to move it out of the way. We're going to take a look at the headers here, and you'll be looking at how these install. I'll go ahead and take these off so we can show you. So the back. Thought it went. How am I forgetting how this goes? Oh, it goes in here. That's why. The wrong one. So I'm looking on the front, but it's actually on the back here that you see it, that these two posts are. And that's where you'd mount it. And these ones go upward. I know a lot of people who will actually swap them and go downward like this, especially if you're doing a gravedigger body. The real pain with them going upward is that the body pops out of it all the time. So when it covers it, it gets hooked. So you're driving and whatever, and the body ends up on the outside of these. And you have to constantly be pushing it back on the inside to ride inside these. But what I've done is gone and bought some of these, and these are what are actually going to go on mine from Ross Hinshaw. So these will sneak in the same way, and you'll get this look going backward like that. Actually, these ones come up forward. So that's the wrong one, because you want these pipes to slide forward. So I'm going to change mine out, do the ones that Ross Hinshaw makes, and they go on the inside, but they come down and forward like so. So gathered pipes like this is kind of what I've chosen to do. I'll show you guys here live. So that instead of that. So these ones go sort of up and back. They come down and in. You dig it? And those use what? These little guys, really little itty bitty screws right here. Hopefully these will fit. Ross Lee says, yeah, he's thinking about turning his headers upside down. It sure does get annoying having to constantly be popping the body out. RC Vega, Team Vega, what's up? So there we go. Do mine a little bit cooler. You see a lot of the trucks running them like this. But the quick way to do it is just flip your headers up or flip them down, the stock ones. It definitely is, if you're not going to get any of these from Shapeways or Ross Hinshaw or whoever you get them from. I know that Hetmansky makes who's it that I got these monster truck parts, I think is what his name is on their Shapeways, monster parts. So these are his headers and these are made to go down. See his logo on it, MP. So those are for monster parts, and that's on Shapeways. He also does the collected pipes. Can you dig it? These are really glossy and nice. I like the actual quality of these ones by RH Designs, which again are Ross Hinshaw. He also makes really cool wheelie bar that we're going to be installing as well. I feel like it's just spinning. Now it's tightening. Okay, good. So I think that it was stripped. What motor ESC setup am I throwing in? It's a Castle Sidewinder 4 with a 5700 kV motor. So there it is, finished up, guys. Mounted on. Floats out a little bit from the side there. So here it is finished. I'm going to go ahead and put the other one on and we'll be right back. Gotta remember to talk to the camera stuff so I don't get done and like, whoops. Got to tell them what I was doing. The first one, you like these ones better? The metal ones? Sean's? You like this? I'm not a fan. Just because so many of the trucks run these collected pipes like this. So from the scale standpoint, I know you're a scale guy, so you would understand it from that point. If so many of these trucks run them. And that's why we want them. I do like the look of the other zoomies. But I would go back and turn mine down on my other trucks because it is annoying, but it's kind of a pain to do it if you don't. Okay, he's saying he likes these ones we're installing. Yeah, these ones are more scale. To do the other ones down, you have to take so much apart to get to these screws once the cage is assembled. And I was like, ain't worth it. It's a headache enough to be popping the body, but it's even more of a headache to be having to tear the whole truck apart to do it. So we're getting there. Feeling like a monster truck. Need to move my battery. This worry me. All right. So those couple steps are done. We got more to do. Oh, snap, we do. They do want us to build the whole chassis today. All right. Buckle in. Buckle in. Riffraff's like the ASMR on the transmission build. All right. Okay, so we need more parts. Looks like we should just install it all to one side first, and then we'll do the other. That makes sense. That does make sense. So let's go ahead and start with some of the obvious pieces that we already have on the bench. I'm going to start with our right side, passenger side, if there were passengers, side of our chassis. And we're going to take some of these pieces that we just finished building, start putting them in place where they're going to go. So like here, and then we're going to mount that up. Got so much stuff on my desk. This has got to be the worst build videos ever. Four, 3, 6. So that's like, yeah, 4, 3, 6. 4, 3, 6. I'm going to sort all my screws really quick so I know what they are. 4, 3, 6s. 4, 3, 4s. 4, 6, 5s. There we go. That's going to make it easier. Having our screws sorted, and we're ready to go. This is where I should have my drill. Sean can't move from gardening. Oh man, I feel you. We were unraking a whole bunch of rocks, like pond stones, that I put next to my pond. But now that I want to build something else there, guess what? Got to move all those rocks out. How's it going, Tank? You ain't the only channel running 2 live streams this week. Oh, yeah. Playing catch up. Catch up with Tank. All right, next. Let's go ahead and mount the battery tray. So it'd also be a good time for me to be thinking about mounting my other thing, the wheelie bar. So I'll have to take a look at that here in a second. All right. So some of these screws change based on how they are. So these are going to use the same 436 screw. So we've got the 436 screw, and that's going to go here, in here. But we're going to change it up, and we're going to be putting in the 465 screw, which is kind of a shorter one of these. It's like right here. So let's do it. All right, that's in. I love progress. Now we're starting to talk. Now it's looking good. I know how the other stuff assembles at this point, so we're making some good headway now. Really good headway. So this will be the front end right here. We'll put that on next. Some people will mod this and cut and move some of this stuff to give them more clearance so their servo doesn't hit. I don't do that. I could, but just I haven't yet. What's up, J King? This is all going to slide in here. What screw is that going to use? 434s. So those are smaller. Smaller ones. 2. These cap heads. Is that what you call them? Cap and button and this is where my technical talk runs out. Just screw this here, and then you're done. Just like that. Screw it in there. That was it. You did good, kid. What else do we got going in here? Braces that'll hold shock towers. So here's the rear one. I'm going to need this. Potentially. I don't know. I'm going to install it regardless. So this. All right. It's going to mount right here. These are 2 of the 465s. So it means I probably used one of the 465s wrong on that lower piece. So I'm not going to have enough. Probably was supposed to be the longer one going into the battery tray. So we'll have to move that in a second. But I told you wrong now, so you're going to be mad at me. All right. Yeah, my guess is that this is the longer one here. And that we don't install it yet. We're going to wait till we do our sway bars. So we're rushing ourselves. Yeah, Tank, don't screw up. Everyone's going to be mad at you. So this part here is going to be for our front body posts. Lots of cutting now. We're getting to the part of this. We're going to use my knife a lot. All right, so cut out that middle piece too. You can see it's grooved here. That was where if you have an antenna wire, it could come through. So that's going to mount toward the back here. Like so. Mount right here toward the back, like so. And then you're going to just screw it all up like I did. Drop it all out. Just because. All right. Build videos are fun. Build videos are great. Good night, Tank. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping in for a minute. 1 a.m. It's getting late. So there we go. That's mounted. Oops. That looks like everything. Go ahead and put the other side in. That's just gonna, everything should just line right up. Before I keep going, I am going to look at the wheelie bar kit, because this should be going in right now too. So I have the Ross Hinshaw Designs wheelie bar kit here. Before I move too far forward, I just want to make sure that I don't wait too long to set this up, because it rides right inside of here like so, and that's how you're going to mount then this plate. So we just want to get to it while we can still, and that'll cinch it on there. So if you guys are seeing this piece here, a little dark for you, just pops in here in the back. And that gives you something to screw into. It's grooved on the back as well. And that's what you put these little square nuts in. Like that. It's got grooves on the back here. We're going to drop in these little nuts like this that we'll be able to get to later. So that pushes in. Yeah. Cool. So it mounts in here like this. And this bar is going to go on here. And then that'll reach, there'll be another one on the other side, and they'll have these little rollers in between them. And that's your wheelie bar. So let me go ahead and get that installed while we're still apart here, and it's easier to do. I'm going to go pretty far back with mine. it's going to go through like this. Actually, that's too long. It must be these. Yeah, so you're going to take the long screws here. These 2.5s. There we go. So we're going to do a little upgrade here, guys, while we're at it. Nope, that's 3mm. It's a good thing I bought a 3mm MIP. Really tight, even going through the metal here. All right, so I'm going to add this in, let a little blue thread lock in here, hold it in place. Should be good. These don't come with your kit. And this 3mm is stripping it. Why is that? I remembered I had trouble with this kit last time. These screw heads are kind of not great. I do remember this. So just gonna put 2 screws per side. 2 of these long bolts should be good enough. Looks like all we got anyway, so. So there's all these holes on here, like you use them all, but you really only use a couple. Struggling it. It is. The struggle is real. It's worth the struggle, though. These things are awesome. I think my problem is that this round tip doesn't get in there far enough because it's a rounded wrench. I think I need the bigger size 3. To just do it by hand. Well, this one doesn't even get in there. But this 2.5 kind of, it slips all over the place. I don't know. It must be American size. That's no bueno. All right, so we got it partly on there. Hopefully I like that length. Now that I'm looking at it, it seems really, really far back, but oh well. That's what we got. It's really clever design by Ross. I'll give him that. This is always fun trying to line up all these pieces at one time. Just start one at a time, I guess. So these 6/7 ones. like this. We're going to go in the back. Hold this together. Seriously, I didn't put that one on over here. Son of a gun. So that means I got to take off that piece that just didn't fit together well. Put that on. So that's going to be flapping all over. My bad. My bad. Missing the chat here. Once I get this going, I'm going to jump back in there for a minute. So basically for this side, you're doing the opposite of the other. All the screws are pretty accurately diagrammed in the manual, and you can, their actual size, so you can put them up next to it for a reference. So many screws to remember to get here. I dropped one. There it is. How did it not hit the mat? That's the question, right? All right. Now we are talking. Fortunately, I do have to back this one back out. I'm an idiot. I missed a screw, which I can almost get, but I can't quite get. So that, I have to put a 7, which is ready to go. There we go. All right, let's go back. There we go. Hey, what's going on, Foundry? Just working on truck. Stripping out a screw. Actually, Now it feels like I need to back this one out some. So loosen that up to get this piece in here. Tighten it back down before I forget, though, that's for sure. Not doing that again. These screws on this kit are just too hard to work with to be messing around. All right, here we go. I have so much pressure on this, or it starts stripping. Like everything about the design except for those heads on that screw. No, that's being a little picky. Yeah, no update on the hat front. I'll be honest though, I forgot to email again after the last time I said I would. So I need to do that tonight. So I'm going to sweat this one out. I had my Foundry shirt on the other day. I wear that shirt all the time. Looks really cool. It's got a really cool shirt design. I mean, really cool Foundry logo too. That has to do with it. Part of the thing about having a cool shirt is having a cool logo. I dig the Foundry logo. I should have been drinking that more. I'm getting tired. The hat? No, this hat is not on Teespring. This hat right now is only, I order them. I've got to order them. Still need to order some more. So these wheelie bars now are going to just mount down here and then up here. Got this threaded rod in there. Again, blue Loctite. Give it a go here. One. Now I'll work on it, guys. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about these hats. I'll work on getting them in. But these ones, I got to front the money. And at the time, I didn't know if anyone would like it, if I would even like how the design worked on camera. Oh my gosh, this is so dumb. See if I have any non-metric stuff up here. SAE, will you work? Next size down. That feels pretty good. Yeah. So what are we using? 3/32. No, 7/64. That's what this is. Now we're talking. Now we can cinch these up. Good old Husky all-in-one Allen tool. See a big kahuna? Yeah, now I have so much interest, I'll definitely get quite a few of them. I'll at least get probably 20, a batch of 20, just so I have some on hand. Probably have about 10 people that said they'd want one. This is the tedious part. I didn't think this was going to be this tedious. See you guys. Big kahuna. Out. Gary, did you get your shocks in? I know you were going to try out those gold ones. I'm waiting. My orange ones show up soon. Gary, man, you made me so jealous with your Jeep post. Able to go without the top on. There we go. Wheelie bars are looking good now. All right. There we go. I noticed something glaringly missing right now. It goes up on the top right here. Oops. Maybe they haven't called for it yet. I actually don't see it in there yet listed. All right, so we didn't miss it. That's good to know. Just so that we can feel more accomplished, though, let's just put it in there. Let it hold itself. Just feels done that way. That'll roll on the ground. Pretty good angle. Wheelie bar. I've got a super mess on this desk. Later, Basher Boy. Thank you for checking in, man. All right, so next what they want us to do is they want us to install. Next the part that they want us to do is install these body posts, and then we'll put the transmission in, attach the shocks, axles, all that. This will all come up next, guys. At this point, this seems like a good stopping point because we're gonna have to open up bag H here, and so I'm just gonna put it on pause for a minute, and we'll do this bag H as the next step, and then look at the driver, which has to be painted and all that. sprayed and assembled with stickers and all that. Last thing we're going to do is put in the top right here. I just stuck it in there without any screws for now. I don't want to go too far because I do have to still install electronics. We'll get to the wheels, this sponsor plates, which I have mine already stickered up. Buy these sticker packs like this is from Traxxas. Picked up at my local hobby town, and that's an easy way to get a bunch of decals on them. Tires, we have the J Concepts tires we'll be looking at. Have to put our hexes and that kind of stuff on this bag J, but we're almost there. We're in the final stretch, so that's exciting, guys. Anyway, thanks for tuning in for another part of this SMT10 build. It's been tedious for sure, but we're marching on and things are looking good, and I can't wait to have it done. And I know that you guys, if you're watching this video, hopefully are nearing the completion of your build as well, if you have one. If not, thanks for just watching. If you made it this far, especially say you made it this far. But here's a look at it up close and personal. This will be our thumbnail. Hard to tell what's going on because there's so much in the shot. All right, guys, have a great night. Have fun RCing, and we will catch you next time. All right, so what are you guys doing? Later, Earl, you're off. See you, man. I'm going to start shutting this down. I'll stay on in the chat for a little bit here, catch up with what people have been talking about as I wrap in here. Man, so much stuff. So much junk on my table right now. Even like that for the Primal. Yeah, that wheelie bar would be great. Something like that on the Primal, where it's spread out across the whole back. That's the way to do them, in my opinion. That's still a piece we need. Trying to dispose of what little black pieces are trash and which ones are still part of the build. You made it this far? Yeah. Well, live's different. If somebody watches it, though, not live, and they make it to the end, but they don't have one and don't plan to have one, that's like, that's just dedication right there. Maybe they're looking to buy, though, and they want to see how tough the build is or get prepared for the build they're going to do. Two 2.0. New questions. What motor gears do you guys recommend using on SMT10 with the Renegade tires? I use the stock gears that come in the transmission, all that. I run the stock spur gear a lot of times, and I just up the tooth. The biggest that'll fit in is a 17 tooth unless you grind the motor plate to allow the motor to slide more away from the spur gear. I don't do that. You could. I don't do that. What I do is basically what I just mentioned, and that's about the most that I do. This one, however, somebody else had put on a slipper delete on this. I got it from Michael McKenzie. He was selling them on the Solid Axle Monster Mayhem. And so it already had a slipper delete on it here. I don't know who makes it, but then it goes to a 52 tooth spur gear, which I think somebody said was Traxxas gear. I don't know based on looking at it. That might not be, because it looks like it's still, a lot of times when they go to Traxxas, it's so they can go to 32 pitch instead of 48 pitch. Anyway, this is a 52 with a 14 tooth. I need to start working on soldering my ESC so that when I get to this stuff, I'll be ready for that. Yeah, smash the like button, guys, if you wouldn't mind, if you're still in here watching. Now it's just the part where we hang out. Hey, True Boys, what's going on, man? Dante. Thanks for sharing the RTR. Russell, yeah, man, I've only, to this point, I mean, that's all they had in the beginning was the RTR. So most of my experience with this has just been taking that one apart and not rebuilding it from the instructions, but just rebuilding it based on what I knew I tore down and stacked in parts to put back together. So it's interesting to do it like this, just following the directions. True Boys just unboxed the 8S. Yeah, man. Gotta rock it out. Whoop, that's going to be contagious. Sorry, guys. Prepping some of these pieces. I don't think I'm actually going to run body posts. I'm going to run Velcro. It's my favorite. My favorite way to do. But she is looking pretty good. Definitely excited to be this far along. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we're almost there. Got to build out. What do we got to build out? Still have to do the, I missed one. Just stop talking. What we still got to do? Still have to do the lost my train of thought here. Oh, the sway bars there. Hate when that happens. Total brain fart. Yeah, True Boys, these things are awesome when they start coming together like this cage. Because at this point, the links will screw in here. The already assembled tray will just slap in here with a couple more screws. And it's going to start going together real quick. Going to be awesome. Add the shocks on here, mount those up. Still debating whether or not I want to do shocks on axle. I might want to do that with this truck, but we'll see. Sean left, and I mentioned this earlier on. People didn't see it, but these are from RC Amigos, little trail Bigfoot and a trail zombie metal, just stake into the ground here. Put on your scale trails. And then 11 Charlie was talking about these in his live chat, and I literally left the live chat and went and hit up RC Amigos to buy some of these because it was going to support buying some trucks for the 11 Charlie veterans builds that he does. So, and then RC Amigos also said, send me your logo. I'll make you one with your logo in it too if I wanted to do it with my logo. So I did the green one because like my sticker bombs are black and green and white. So I thought one of these cool green ones would be awesome underneath them. Underneath the sticker bomb. So, and then I have two more of them actually right now that are holding up my laptop that's sitting right here. Yeah, the Bigfoot body like V2 Vids, True Boy says. Yeah, man. So you can get those. J Concepts has that style body. That's the body that I sent to Honey Lulu to do a dip on. Is that style. She did awesome. Out of this world, but I ended up selling that whole truck with that body on it. I was trying to pare down some stuff so I wouldn't have so many varied types of solid axle trucks. I had to keep parts for clodbusters, SMT10s, ground pounders. I don't know if I said that one already. Freestyle RC, just so many different types. I wanted to get down to a few less. I'm still doing SMT10. Now I've got the Sen. Just so many parts in parts bags I got to bring with me. Ooh, feeling it. I did keep that cool body though that was made for me with the guns and all that stuff by Buck Val. So yeah, kept that. I was gonna get rid of that thing. It's too cool. I needed a body though that would go with it. So it was built all around that the dipped one. So that's the body I had to sell with it. So he got a cool body. All right, guys, I've been going for 2 hours. That's no time in RC Guy Garage time. He can go forever. Super entertaining. If you guys haven't watched those, he's been doing COVID and coffee, I think, in the morning live chats. They've been really good. Definitely should check them out. RC Guy Garage if you haven't. They're asking about Sean about the Komodo build. I just saw that Komodo had what, an RTR version? Is that new? Or is that? It seemed like the article that I just read about it made it seem like it was a new thing to have the 4-door RTR truck. Am I wrong? Thanks, Kevin. So, my leaky armor shocks over here leaking in the office. I want to take them apart and see what's doing it. Okay, so they did just release the RTR of the double cab. Very cool. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I have an early morning tomorrow, so I'm going to jet, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks for sticking around for the build, and we'll see you next time.